All rise. Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. Supreme Court of Florida is now in ceremonial session. All who have cause to plead, draw near, give attention, you shall be heard. God save these United States, the great state of Florida, and this honorable court. Ladies and gentlemen, Supreme Court of Florida, please be seated.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Florida Supreme Court, it is my great honor to welcome you to this induction ceremony for new members of the Florida Bar. This is a great day for each of you inductees, and it is a great day for your families and your friends, everyone who helped you overcome all the challenges and difficulties you faced along the way to this happy occasion. This ceremony is a time for celebration. So here today, unlike at most other court ceremonies, you are free to take photos and even applaud. Being a member of the legal profession is a great privilege, and it is a great responsibility. Lawyers give life to the rule of law in our society. The legal profession is an essential pillar of our democratic institutions and a bulwark for our liberties as Americans. Without the legal profession, our way of life, the freedoms and rights that define us as a people would not be possible. As you enter your professional life today, I encourage you to always remember the crucial role your profession plays in our society. And there are other things I hope you will remember as well. There is great personal and professional satisfaction to be found in reaching out to those less fortunate in our communities who cannot afford legal representation. Providing pro bono services is part of the oath you will take here today, and part of the obligation that goes hand in hand with the privilege of practicing law. As a member of the Florida Bar, you will have obligations to your clients, to the public, and to the other members of the bar. Always remember that your conduct will bring credit or discredit not only to you as an individual, but also to the profession of which you are a part. In an important sense, whatever you do, you will stand as a representative of the Florida Bar. It is my honor now to call on John Stewart, President of the Florida Bar, to come to the podium for remarks. President Stewart.
Chief Justice candidate, honorable members of the Florida Supreme Court, colleagues, parents, families, and friends of Florida's newest lawyers, as President of the Florida Bar and on behalf of the over 107,000 members of the Florida Bar, it is my great pleasure to welcome each of you to the practice of law. This is an auspicious day. Today, you join a truly noble profession, and we are happy to welcome you as members. You're entering the practice of law at a very dynamic time, largely due to the pace of technological advancements. The question that you all will face is, has the ethical and professional practice of law changed in this new technological age? My suggestion to you is that it has not, it should not, and that within the changing technological landscape, ethics may be more important than ever. While each of the oath's principles are of utmost importance, two specific principles stand out today. First, the principle of confidentiality, as evidenced by the following phrase contained within the oath: I will maintain the confidence and preserve inviolate the secrets of my clients. Computers, machines, and even IBM Watson's artificially intelligent framework cannot maintain client confidences or preserve inviolate client secrets without a human guiding its operations. Our clients trust us with the things that are most important and precious to them: their businesses, their money, their reputations, their homes, their families, and in some cases, their lives. We must redouble our efforts to keep our client confidences as we use legal technologies to better our practices and our professions. The second principle I will mention in the oath that stands out during this new age states as follows: to opposing parties and their counsel, I pledge fairness, integrity, civility, not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications. Lawyers must maintain the highest standards of professionalism and civility throughout their careers. Lawyers, not computers or advanced technology, are equipped with the ability to be empathic, sympathetic, and civil in their dealings with the consumers of our legal services, with each other, and with our judicial officers. Enhanced civility is a challenge that we face in this new age. We can send an email or a text to the court, a client, or opposing counsel in an instant, often as an emotional reaction that we may later regret. Our communications in these formats are not only instantaneous, but are often too casual and cavalier to meet professional standards. Although professionalism requires that our behavior is governed by the rules regulating the Florida Bar day and night, inside the office or otherwise, that fact does not require that we must be, as lawyers, always tethered to our work. In fact, we need to find time to disconnect and prioritize our mental and physical well-being so we can better serve our clients. We must disconnect and take care of ourselves to maintain the highest level of professionalism and civility that we can in this sea of incivility that surrounds us. It is a solemn oath that you are about to take, and it is a great honor to be able to take this oath. You should each look at yourselves a little differently now, as the rest of us do. I'd like to leave you with a quote from John William Davis, who served as Solicitor General of the United States under President Woodrow Wilson, on the meaning of lawyers, judges, and the rule of law in a civilized society. Solicitor General Davis said, "True, we build no bridges, we raise no towers, we construct no engines, we paint no pictures unless as amateurs for our own principal amusement. There is little of all that we do of which the eye of man can see, but we smooth out difficulties, we relieve stress, we correct mistakes, we take up other men's burdens, and by our efforts we make possible the peaceful life of men in a peaceful state. Enjoy your practice. It is the most demanding yet most fulfilling profession that I can imagine. I wish you all a long and rewarding career." Thank you.
Thank you. I am now pleased to ask Gregory Noonan, President-elect of the Tallahassee Bar Association, to make remarks.
Thank you, Chief Justice. On behalf of the Tallahassee Bar Association, I want to congratulate all of you. This is a tremendous accomplishment. Passing the bar and being sworn in was probably the proudest moment of my career. Before I get to my elevator pitch about joining the Tallahassee Bar Association or your other local bar associations, I want to tell you a quick story about how I was sworn in approximately 11 years ago. I was working for a small local firm here in Tallahassee with 2 young lawyers. The bar results came out, which is a terrifying experience, for me anyways. One of the partners called everyone into his office to take a look at the results, which is even more terrifying. I passed. Then the partners decided they were going to take me down to the county courthouse for traffic hearings and get me sworn in on that very day. So that was great. We went down to the courthouse, went back into the chambers. I was administered my oath by a local judge here. That was awesome. We went out in the courtroom to do what I thought was going to be watching the hearings take place, watch my bosses do their thing. And when the judge took the bench, my bosses handed me a file and pushed me up to the podium and told me I was handling the hearing. If you think I'm nervous now, you should have seen me back then. I was terrified. So at that very moment, the enormous weight of my ignorance about how to actually practice law came crashing down on me. And I could hear my bosses and the judge chuckling because they were all in on this and thought it was hilarious. I figured it out. In the 11 years since that day, I've learned how to practice in front of a judge. I've learned how to deal with clients, manage a business, purchase advertising, negotiate salaries for myself and for employees, and 1,000 other things that they don't teach you how to do in law school. And I'm relaying this story because you're about to embark on this same journey. And most of your practical education about these things is going to come from other lawyers and other judges in your local legal community. Associations like the Tallahassee Bar can play an enormous role in that. We're a voluntary bar association. You don't have to become a member like you do of the Florida Bar. We hold meetings every month and other events every month where we try to get you together with judges and other attorneys. We have a young lawyers section that has happy hours every month, and both of those entities have boards of governors that manage those associations. But I do want to say becoming involved in your legal community is not easy. I recall a lot of meetings as a law student and a young lawyer where I didn't have anyone to talk to, and I stood very awkwardly in a corner of the room and waited for dinner to be served. The more you go, the easier it gets, the more you'll benefit from it. It's an investment. I've met some of my best friends at Tallahassee bar meetings and Florida bar meetings. I met President Stewart probably 12 years ago at a Florida bar meeting. I've been referred some of my biggest cases as a result of meeting folks at local bar association meetings and met some of my best friends there. There's a skill to getting to know people and developing those relationships. So I want to talk about one of my father's favorite books, which he made me read twice when I was growing up, going to college, and that was Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I highly recommend it. I think my father was a salesman by trade. I think it can apply equally as well to the law. So I want to give you some quotes that I think can help you succeed when you go to local bar meetings. The first one, every man I meet or woman is superior in some way. In that, I learn of him. A person's name is to that person the sweetest and most important sound in any language. Success in dealing with people depends on a sympathetic grasp of the other person's viewpoint. The average person is more interested in his or her name than in any other names on earth put together, all of the other names. Dale Carnegie really liked to focus on names. It's important. Remember a name and call it easily, and you have paid a subtle and very effective compliment. 3/4 of the people you will meet are hungering for sympathy. Give it to them and they will love you. One reason why birds and horses are not unhappy is because they're not trying to impress other birds and horses. Talk to someone about themselves and they'll listen for hours. So all of these quotes are talking about showing an interest in others, learning from them, and remembering their names. I'd also encourage you to reach out to people, including myself. If you're here in Tallahassee, you're thinking about going to a Tallahassee bar meeting, email me, call me. I will meet you at the meeting. I will introduce you to people. If you're somewhere else, you don't have someone to contact, President Stewart probably knows every president and president-elect of every local bar association throughout the state. He can put you in contact with someone. And I want to leave you with two last quotes which have helped me get through some tough times when I've been practicing as a young lawyer and keep my head above water. And those are, do the hard jobs first. The easy jobs will take care of themselves. And inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit home and think about it. Go out and get busy. Thank you and good luck.
Thank you. I now ask Santo DeGangi, President of the Young Lawyers Division of the Florida Bar, to approach the podium for remarks.
Mr. Chief Justice, and may it please the court, it is an honor to stand before you today and represent the 27,000 young lawyers around the state of Florida in welcoming our newest members. Soon to be members of the Florida Bar, on behalf of the Young Lawyers Division, I want to congratulate you on this tremendous accomplishment. I know your family and friends are extremely proud of you and the work you've done to get to this point. Conversely, you should be proud of them for putting up with your mood swings and general hysteria in preparing for the bar exam and getting through law school. Don't worry, we've all been there. Welcome to the Florida Bar and its Young Lawyers Division. All Florida Bar members under the age of 36 or in their first 5 years of practice are automatically members of the Young Lawyers Division, or YLD. That makes you all our newest members, and we are thrilled you'll be joining us. As president of the YLD, I am often asked, what does the YLD do? Simply put, we are the workhorse of the Florida Bar, and we work hardest for you, our members. We do this by advocating for, educating, and serving our Florida young lawyers. The YLD advocates for its members by bringing important issues directly impacting young lawyers to the forefront. Recently, the YLD led the Stigma-Free YLD campaign to bring awareness, acceptance, and more resources to lawyers dealing with mental health issues. In addition, the YLD is hosting the first ever Summit on Young Government Lawyers on November 1st in Orlando, which will bring leaders together from around the state. The importance of government lawyers cannot be overstated, but at times it is undervalued. That ends now. The WildD educates its members by producing all of the basic CLEs that all young lawyers, including all of you, are required to take in the first 3 years of practice, including practicing with professionalism. Through our efforts, those are now offered online without the mandatory in-person attendance requirement. Additionally, your bar membership grants you automatic access to the Legal Accelerator, a Google-like guide to all the questions you may have as a young lawyer, from preparing for a job interview to transitioning from different areas of practice. These 2 to 4 minute videos give you valuable advice from seasoned attorneys. Lastly, the WildD serves young lawyers. Every year, the WildD hosts its affiliate outreach conference, where local young lawyers sections and associations come together and share ideas on community outreach programs. We award approximately $50,000 in grants to these affiliates to continue their important programming. If you want to learn more about the WildD or what the WildD can do for you, please feel free to reach out to me at any point or your WildD Circuit representatives. You can learn more at our website, flayld.org. As I conclude my comments, I would like to leave you with one last piece of advice. I'm sure many of you, like me, went straight from your undergraduate studies to law school and are now ready to begin your careers in our noble profession. Take the time when you are a young lawyer to put as much effort as you can into your job, but also remember to set aside time to use your talents to give back both to the bar and the community. As you become older, remember that working hard and setting aside time for your family are not mutually exclusive. Taking time away from your work to focus on your family and your community not only makes you a better lawyer, it makes you a better person. When you begin with the end in mind, you will end up where you want to be and who you want to be. Congratulations again, and welcome to the Florida Bar.
Thank you. Each year, we select a candidate who has excelled on the bar exam to make remarks on behalf of the newly admitted lawyers. It is my honor now to call upon Emily Wasserman for that purpose. Ms. Wasserman.
Good afternoon. May it please the court, my name is Emily Wasserman, and I am honored to be speaking today as a member of Florida's newest class of lawyers. Honored and surprised, I never expected to address the Florida Supreme Court this early in my career, especially since I'm not even in litigation. I would like to start by thanking my family and my fiance for always supporting me, my professors and mentors for educating me, and most importantly, because this is our day, I would like to thank my friends and colleagues in this class of newly admitted lawyers for learning with me, laughing with me, and motivating me throughout these last 3 years. I am proud to be entering this profession with all of you. We all chose to go to law school and undergo the difficult process of becoming a lawyer for different reasons. I have been consistently inspired by the passion and drive of my peers and have enjoyed learning about the issues that are important to them. Personally, I did not go into law school with any particularly exceptional goals or even much of an idea of what it means to be a lawyer. I just knew I loved to learn. Several lawyers have told me that the best part of the job is that they're constantly learning new things and figuring out new ways to solve problems. Having worked as a lawyer now for only a few short weeks, I have already learned so much, and I can't wait to see what the future has in store for all of us in this challenging and ever-evolving career. We live in interesting times. I'm sure every generation thinks this, but it seems especially true for us. Politically and socially, we have the opportunity to make a significant impact. Many of my peers in public interest jobs are already doing so, and I know that those of us in the private sector will take our commitment to pro bono work seriously. Technologically, as advances make quick work of many menial tasks, I am excited that we will get to spend more of our time on the truly interesting, thought-provoking work of being lawyers. Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Far and away, the best prize that life has to offer is the chance to work hard at work worth doing." By being admitted to the Florida Bar, we have all earned that chance, and I hope we make the most of it. The profession we are about to enter and the oath we are about to take are grounded in the principles of respect, honesty, and justice. We should all take pride in these principles. Thank you.
Thank you. The court will now recognize Raquel Munson, member of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, to present the candidates and move for their admission.
Mr. Chief Justice, may it please the court. Pursuant to the rules of the Florida Supreme Court relating to the admissions to the bar, the candidates before you have been rigorously examined by the board, both as to knowledge of the law and understanding of the standards and ideals of the legal profession. In addition, their backgrounds have been subjected to searching character and fitness investigations. On behalf of the Florida Board of Bar Examiners, I certify that these candidates are fully qualified and that each enjoys the enthusiastic recommendation of the board for admission to the Florida Bar. As your name is called, please stand and remain standing. Mr. Justin Scott Alberstein, Mr. Gustavo Emilio Arvelo III, Ms. Michelle A. Bevilacqua, thank you, Ms. Naomi Danielle Bradford, Mr. Richard Philip Buzan, Mr. Alejandro Camacho, Mr. Peter Chekanover, Mr. Christopher Edward Chung, Mr. Nicholas R. Cleary, Mr. Jack Farhad Devani, Ms. Alexandra Diana Graves, Ms. Paris Corin Hardy, Ms. Tess Margaret Helgren, Mr. Edward Infantolino Jr., Ms. Amika Marie Jeffries, Ms. Shantae Jones, Mr. Craig Michael Jones, Mr. Daniel Stephen Lawless, Ms. Asia Lewis, Mr. Thomas Dozier Lovett III, Ms. Meredith Adrian Lundy, Ms. Christina Murphy Lusk, Mr. T. Randall Lyons, Ms. Lee Zin Tao Massey, thank you, Ms. Rima Surratt Nathan, Ms. Kiangela Norton, Ms. Michelle Rodman, Mr. Landon Douglas Stinson, Mr. Tyler Daniel Templeton, Ms. Rebecca Ashley Wagner, Ms. Emily Mara Wasserman, Ms. Valerie Resch White, and for any reason, if your name was not called, but you are here for the induction of this bar admission, please now stand. Having seen no other standing, On behalf of the board, I move that these candidates be admitted to the Florida Bar.
Thank you, Ms. Munson. The court accepts your motion and grants it. All right. The moment has now come for the final step in your journey to become a lawyer, the oath of admission. Now, I'd like for each of you to raise your right hand and please repeat after me. I do solemnly swear. I will support. The Constitution of the United States. And the Constitution of the State of Florida. I will maintain the respect. Due to courts of justice. And judicial officers. I will not counsel or maintain. Any suit or proceedings. Which shall appear to me. To be unjust. Nor any defense. Except such as I believe. To be honestly debatable. Under the law of the land. I will employ. For the purpose of maintaining. The causes confided in me. Such means only. As are consistent with truth and honor. And will never seek. To mislead the judge or jury. By any artifice. Or false statement of fact or law. I will maintain the confidence. And preserve inviolate. The secrets of my clients. And will accept no compensation. In connection with their business. Except from them. Or with their knowledge and approval. To opposing parties and their counsel. I pledge fairness, integrity, and civility. Not only in court, but also in all written and oral communications. I will abstain from all offensive personality. And advance no fact prejudicial to the honor or reputation of a party or witness, unless required by the justice of the cause with which I am charged. I will never reject from any consideration personal to myself the cause of the defenseless or oppressed, or delay anyone's cause for lucre or malice. So help me God. Congratulations. Welcome to the Florida Bar. You may be seated. Again, congratulations. I know this is a happy day. May each one of you always be faithful to the solemn oath you have just taken. And finally, I have an announcement. We ask that the newly sworn attorneys remain here in the courtroom, standing in front of the bench for a group photograph. Then the new attorneys should sign your oaths in the presence of one of the court's deputy clerks in the lawyer's lounge. The court will be adjourned in a moment. We'll come back for photographs in a moment. But court is now adjourned. Congratulations again.